Hello, I'm Sidney and I have type 1 diabetes.
And I'm Kahla and I'm a T1D mom. Sidney, what is type 1 diabetes?
Horrible. So, it's basically where your immune system, it attacked my beta cells, which produce insulin. So there are no more beta cells. So I don't have insulin. Diabetes is where you don't have insulin. How's that?
Yeah, that's it in a nutshell. So we're not exactly sure how it starts. The theory is that something triggers your immune system to attack your beta cells in your pancreas that produce insulin. So whether it's a virus that looks similar to those beta cells.
And before I was diagnosed, shortly before, I had a stomach bug.
Yes, so there are phases of the progression of type 1 diabetes. So often it starts 9 to 10 months before you even get diagnosed with something like a stomach bug, where your immune system starts attacking those beta cells. So by the time you actually get diagnosed, it could be 6 to 9 months later. And by that time, 75 to 90% of your insulin producing cells are already gone.
Wow. I never knew that.
Yep. So you had a few still left, kicking out a little bit of insulin when you were diagnosed,
It wasn't enough.
But not enough. So that's when all the symptoms start showing up. Do you know what all the symptoms are?
Maybe.
Okay, tell us what you know.
So, you need to go to the bathroom a lot at night. You drink a lot during the day. If you have it really bad and you just do not... you have blurry eyesight. You lose your feeling in your toes and fingers. And then you have like a fruity breath.
Mm-hmm.
Is that it? I feel like there were more.
There's a few more.
Tiredness.
Mm-hmm.
Shakiness. Headaches.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of what all symptoms I get when I'm high or low.
Yeah, it's mainly high symptoms because at that point your blood sugar is going high without it coming back down. Yes, I think you got the main symptoms because drinking a lot of water and going to the bathroom are your body's ways of flushing extra sugar out of your system since it doesn't have insulin to do it. Also, you get tired because your body doesn't get the sugar from your bloodstream into your cells and into your muscles to give them the energy and the power to work. So that's why you get so tired.
Honestly, when you're high, you'd think you have a lot of energy. But like, my legs always feel kind of weak and tired.
It's kind of the opposite. Yes, and if you get so far into those symptoms without being diagnosed, that's when you might start vomiting. That's one of the more severe symptoms. Also, there's like a very heavy breathing that can happen, like a shallow breathing, but it's fast. That can also be a very severe sign. Mm-hmm.
Like that?
Yep. That can be a very severe sign.
Okay.
So that is why we took you to the hospital that night, because you did
Vomit. Bleh.
And so I knew that was one of the more serious symptoms. So we thought, okay, it's time to just go get it checked out rather than wait for a doctor appointment. Yep. Before you were diagnosed, do you remember what symptoms you were experiencing that let us know you were sick?
I always drank a lot of water because I was really thirsty. And then in the middle of the night, I had to go to the bathroom a lot. And I was tired.
Do you remember we went to Disney World and shortly before you were diagnosed, and you were sitting on Grandpa's shoulders while we were waiting in line to see the princesses? Do you remember what happened?
I don't remember what happened.
You fell asleep just sitting on his shoulders waiting in line to see the princesses.
I kind of remember that.
Yep. And at the time we were thinking, oh, she must be really tired from all the traveling and things like that, because it was so odd for you to just fall asleep in the middle of the morning. So Sydney, how old were you when you were diagnosed with diabetes? 5, yes. You were diagnosed on June 6th, 2015. So what do you remember about that day?
Not that much. So I just knew, like midnight, I, had to get sick and all. And then you're like, that's enough. I'm taking you to the hospital. You're sick. So I went to the ER. They got me in. Apparently they checked my blood sugar, and I had diabetes.
Do you remember what number you were?
187.
You were 275. So how did it feel when they checked your blood sugar?
I don't remember. Do you?
I do remember that you were fine with it. They told you they were going to poke your finger with a little needle and some blood was going to come out and they would use it to check your blood sugar. And you were like, okay. So you went right along with it. But it was never as easy as that first time once you knew that it was going to hurt.
Yeah. That's pretty much the story with all my diabetes equipment then.
I think you're right. Yes. It's always easiest that first time before you knew it was going to hurt. So what happened after they let you know that you had diabetes?
I had to go to Fargo, and it was like 3 hours away, and I was not excited for that drive, but it had to happen. And then I really liked my room. I don't know if all of the rooms had this, but mine did. It had on the ceiling, it was like a little rectangle, and it had like under sea, and it was a dolphin swimming. Was there a baby dolphin, or was it only one dolphin?
I think there were more than one.
Yeah, there were multiple dolphins. And then you can turn it on, and it's a light. So I always asked for that to be my nightlight. Mom always said no, until Dad came to stay with me, and he said yes. So that was fun. And there was room service, where I ordered my food, and they brought it to me, and I got to eat in bed for the first time in ever. And then I remember being woken up in the middle of the night, and they were like, hey, do you want a juice box? I'd be like, yes, I want a juice box. Why would I say no? I think it was apple juice. I love apple juice still. Anyways.
So you're making it sound pretty glamorous. Like, did anything bad happen? Or
yes.
Was it... Oh, okay.
Shots, pokes, needles, no. But also, on the good side of what happened, grandparents came to bring Raina to Fargo, and they took Raina shopping. And they got me 3 Tsum Tsums. Mickey, Minnie, and Snow White. I loved them. And then they would hang out with me in the room.
So, do you remember going to Vacation Bible School the week before you were diagnosed?
That's what VBS stands for.
That is what VBS stands for, yes.
No. I remember there was a swan.
Oh, yes. There were
I loved
animals
the
that
swan.
year. Mm-hmm.
Swan was my favorite.
Yes.
Sorry.
So I remember when you were at Vacation Bible School, they would serve snacks in the middle of the morning, usually cookies and Kool-Aid.
That's amazing for diabetes.
Right.
Sure.
So after you would eat that snack, then you would get really tired and you would ask to go sit up in the balcony with Daddy rather than sitting down with your friends and participating in the songs and the dancing and the games at the end of the day, because by then you were just feeling really tired from all the sugar that was built up in your system.
And even now, I love to chaotically dance and sing with my friends.
So now you can do that, right?
Yeah, last play date we rocked out to Hakuna Matata.
Very good. So how did life change for you after you went home from the hospital?
Got rid of the breakfast Pop-Tarts.
No more Pop-Tarts for breakfast?
No. What did we start making? Blondies?
Probably not right away, but we did start kind of changing what we eat.
Food.
Mm-hmm.
But I still always had a PBJ. You could not take PBJs away from me. It's just impossible. And then, like, once we learned ice cream was bad, I had ice cream less. But
So what did you have to do at home to take care of your
shots.
diabetes?
Shots and finger pokes. We had like 7 shots a day and like 20 finger pokes a day. And it wasn't fun.
It probably wasn't quite that many. I think we started out with 4 shots a day and maybe 5 or 6 finger pokes.
Wow.
But it seemed like more, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. We can do this one if you want to. No pokes? Okay. What's our word?
Poke.
Poke. All right. Ready? Poke.
Okay.
Now let her.
Just a minute. Wait just a minute. And we're going to let it
Milk it up.
milk it up.
Milk it up.
I'll tell you when we have enough. Okay.
I know it kind of looks like food dots, but it's really not.
Okay. You got to hold it right still on there, okay? Good job. You did it perfectly.
When it turns red, I see. It hurt.
Good job. And what's our number?
Hey, Raina, now 2:35. Let's get to my answer.
Should we put it in the
Hey,
box?
Raina, now we figure out a way
Hold
for
it right there.
us not to hurt. With
Hold on. Let's clean your finger first.
this thing.
Is it dirty?
Nope. Happy Sydney, happy city.
So, Sydney, we've talked a little bit about some of the signs of diabetes before you're diagnosed. So, if anyone out there watching is concerned about a friend or family member, what would be a quick and easy way for them to tell if they might have diabetes?
Well, one of the ways that is a foolproof way, go to the doctor and they're going to check your blood sugar. But to check your blood sugar, you're going to need one very important piece of equipment. So this is a glucose meter thing. And basically, you are going to, this is the poker, this is the meter, and this holds the test strips. So I'm going to open it up and grab one test strip and put it in there. Put it in. I'm going to press a button and get some blood and put it in the strip. So I'm 122, so that's a pretty good number. Yeah, I'm 122. This is no diabetic number.
So yeah, that number would not be super concerning to anyone,
you're like-
especially if you just ate lunch or something like that. But normally, a blood sugar reading of 200 or higher would be an automatic diabetes diagnosis, unless there were other medical conditions or medication that might be affecting your blood sugar.
But yes, that is how you check your blood sugar. And if you do have diabetes, your meter's going to have its own instructions,
But yes, if you did have a high blood sugar reading, you would want
to contact a doctor.
Right. Contact them immediately so that
Don't
they
eat
can
food.
so that they can get you treated and test you for some more serious complications of undiagnosed diabetes.
And drink plenty of water.
Do you know what can happen if diabetes goes undiagnosed for a long period of time?
You go blind, right? You go blind.
I
and
don't.
You're feeling your fingers and toes.
That can happen.
And you have blurry vision.
If you run high for a long time, yes.
Yeah.
You will probably be diagnosed before those things happen. Have you ever heard the term DKA? Okay, so you don't know what it stands for. Diabetic ketoacidosis. It's where the sugar builds up so much in your bloodstream that it throws off your body chemistry. And that's when you get those more serious symptoms like the vomiting, the strange breathing, the fruity breath. You develop ketones in your system where your body is burning fat for energy instead of the carbohydrates in your system. So that's when it's really serious. And when
you had a DCA symptom?
DKA.
DKA.
You were not in DKA when you were diagnosed. In fact, I don't think you've ever been in DKA. But if someone were to go a long time without being diagnosed, they could go into DKA. It can also cause swelling on the brain. You can pass out and have some long-term side effects.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah, it can even result in death if it's not figured out that that's what's going on.
Thank you for being smart.
So we're very thankful that you were diagnosed early. Yes.
Love you.
Love you too.